Hey everyone, it's been a long time since I've done a manga haul video, just because I've done so many of those singular spotlight videos. I've done like 5 in a row now, so I wanted to finally get back to doing some manga hauls now that I'm a little bit less busy, and I've got a ton, so I will be probably doing like a couple of these manga haul videos in a row. I do miss them, but let's just get into it because there's a lot to get through. All right, so this one here is definitely an interesting one. Maybe from the cover you might not know which mangaka this is. If you've guessed straight away, then you're a big fan. But this book is by Yuichi Yokoyama, titled Earth Day. So it was published by Anomaly Tokyo. This here is signed 112 out of 500 copies. And what it is like a little book, a little exhibition catalog, because he did have an exhibition recently, and it has a combination of photographs and illustrations that were shown at the exhibition. So there's a big chunk of this book just dedicated just to the images of the sculptures and the models that were displayed in the exhibition. And then at the back you get one of the reasons why this is so valuable is that it gives you a list of all the works that Yokoyama has published, all of his previous exhibitions, and it's also got a little essay that is translated into English as well. So Japanese and English, got a couple of other illustrations, sketches, stuff like that. So at first when I got this, number one, it is very small. This is just like a normal tankobon size. This is Earth Day. And I was surprised how thick it was, how small it was, but also how much of the book is just all the photographs, which I was like, I'm not too big of a fan of. But the book itself wasn't too expensive anyway, so I'm not complaining too much. But if you're a fan of Yokoyama, I'll put the link in the description below. I'm not sure if they're still selling this because, again, it was only 500 copies, but you pretty much have to email the publisher and they'll send it out to you. So this is probably the most recent, I think, book that I've gotten. So moving on, we've got, let's do a contemporary, a more modern or a more recent series. This one is titled Maria no Danzai. Let me just find my notes. I wrote it down somewhere. Maria no Danzai, drawn by Kazuki and written by Junto Kameshima. Currently only 2 volumes out at the moment. And I think it was like published, 2023? Yeah, 2023. So I haven't read this yet, but I do know that the story or the premise is Maria over here. She has a son who I believe is being bullied, and a tragic accident happens. I don't know what the accident is, but she goes full psycho and goes on a revenge journey for her son. So from that alone, it sounds insane. And also going by the art as well, the covers are amazing. I don't know who this character is, but I'll just do a little flip through. It might be a spoiler if you are reading this. I'm not really looking at this either, but the mother looks pretty crazy, and so I'm very excited to get into this and figure out what exactly happens with the mother, with her son. But just seems like a batshit crazy series that I would enjoy a lot. So that was Maria no Danzai. Let's continue to move on. This one here I'm very happy about. This is my very first book from Masuzou Furukawa, the founder of Mandarake, who started off as a mangaka, moved to Tokyo, but when that wasn't working too much, because he serialized in Garo, he switched over and founded Mandarake. I read a really cool article on his sort of history, an interview with him, so I'll put that in the description as well. But this specific book is titled The Study for a Fairy Tale. So it's got a little slipcase here. Let me pull this out. This is what it looks like on the inside. But why I'm so happy is because this is an extremely rare book. Only 500 copies printed. This is copy 485, and it was printed in 1986. 1,300 yen. Wish I got this for 1,300 yen. But with Masuzou Furukawa, I read a couple of his one-shots in Garo, although Garo is the only place that I have his stories, and so getting a tankobon of his works is really cool. So these are the stories here, and I'll just flip through some of the works. Pretty much just think of like Gekiga. He was a part of, well, in Garo at the time of like the 70s and the 80s, the big names of Gekiga that were serializing in Garo were Oji Suzuki, you had Shinichi Abe, and you had also Masuzou Furukawa. And so they were dubbed the Three Crows of Garo, or the 1, 2, 3 trio. Why? Because they were quite well known for their Gekiga works in the magazine, but at the same time, in their names, they also have the kanji for the numbers 1, 2, and 3. So number 1, Shinichi Ichi, which is number 1 for Shinichi Abe. Then you have Oji Suzuki, I believe it's Ki, that's number 2. And then Masuzou Furukawa, here we go, number 3. So that's why they are dubbed the 1, 2, 3 trio, or the Three Crows of Garo. And I do plan to make a video on them, like a spotlight video on them together as a trio, because now I finally have a tankobon by Furukawa. I want to read it first because I've got tankobons by Shinichi Abe and Suzuki, of course, but Furukawa, not yet. Only just Garo issues, pretty much. But I'm really happy I managed to find a copy of this, super rare. There is another tankobon by Furukawa that is titled Murasaki Densetsu, which means the Purple Legend, which has serialized a bunch in Garo. I think all of it was serialized in Garo. That's another tankobon I really want from him, but hard to find his stuff, not much available. And if it is, expensive. Pretty expensive. Okay, let's move on to the next book here. This one is a more recent thing. This is the third magazine, JOJO magazine, 2023 winter. And I have the previous two because I love JOJO. And this one was a great one as well, especially with, you know, part 9 coming out, JOJO Lands. You've got JoJo, Joestar. I have flicked through this a little bit, but there's a really cool section here where it summarizes how many, like, here it says 408 orders over the course of JOJO. All the stand rushes, 256 orders. You've got, what's his name? Crazy Diamond. It's been a while since I read the older parts, so I'm trying to figure out. You've got Giorno's 185 muras, 199 orders from Jolene, and I think some other ones as well from like Silver Chariot, different types of rushes. You've got Jolene as well, Joseph. So that was a really cool section, probably my favorite section from the little magazine. But this is great to have. I love JoJo. Haven't caught up with JoJo Lands yet, but there's also a new one-shot in this book. A lot of interviews, some live action stuff, more interviews as well, and just amazing art all around. And you also get like a little sticker, a shiny sticker, which looks like this. These are the previous two magazines. And the best thing about this, about the cover at least, is that it's like shiny. I love that. I love anything shiny, so really cool pickup. What's the stand's name again? November Rain. Yeah, I love JoJo's design. So that was a recent pickup as well that I'm quite happy about. Still have to get updated with JOJO, but can't get enough of it. Okay, so speaking of Shinichi Abe, when I was talking about Masuzou Furukawa before, this here is another tankobon which I've never seen before actually. Published by Seirindo, the publisher of Garo. Was it Seirindo? Was it Seirin Kogeisha? I'm pretty sure it's Seirindo. 2001. Yep. And it's titled, let me just hide that just in case. It's titled the Airen family / Bible. So not too sure why it's titled like that. I haven't read it yet. Maybe it's because there's like 2 sets of stories in it. Not too sure, but I'm pretty sure this book is also a little bit rare too. I've never seen this book before. Got some cool color illustrations at the front by Shinichi Abe. Here are some of the stories. Okay, yeah, so it looks like it's 2 collections, 2 short story collections. The Airen family is the first one, and then you've got Bible, which is the second one. So pretty interesting. Another, I didn't realize how many short story collections Shinichi Abe had, because I've got a couple, and there's still some that I don't even have. So it's really cool just, you know, with the amount of books that I have, still getting some new stories introduced to me. And one of these stories I've actually read in the past. It was the very first Shinichi Abe story that I read without even realizing who Shinichi Abe was. This is a little Garo Nekojiru postcard flyer. It's cool. Let me pull up one of the stories. But again, Shinichi Abe, art is amazing. Art is absolutely amazing. This story here, this was the very first story I read from Shinichi Abe when I was starting to read Garo for the first time. And I found his style really interesting. Because this is, I believe, later Shinichi. And of course I didn't understand what was going on because I believe this is like a connected series. So there's like multiple chapters, I think. Not too entirely sure, but yeah. So that was cool, just realizing that that was in here. A couple of essays as well, commentary, and a list of where they were published, and here it is, all of them from Garo. So you've got the Airen family collection, that was pretty much 1975 to 1976. Then you've got the Bible collection, which is 2000 to 2001. So that's why you see a little bit of a difference in the art style in the first and second half of the book. So also very excited to get into this as well. Another rare pickup. A lot of rare pickups that I've been taking up. These two especially have been really cool and just really happy about owning. And so I'm going to also show off a Garo issue as well. The reason why is because I've got so many Garo issues, I haven't read all of them yet, but I might do a little thing where every manga haul I do, I'll just do a flip through of a Garo issue that I haven't read, because why not? I haven't touched Garo in a while, and I feel like a lot of people love Garo, so might as well showcase this. This is the next Garo issue on my list. Well, let me just move this across. On my list of to be read piles, planning to read piles. This is the 1973 issue, March, with a cover by Shinichi Abe. Let me just move this up a little, actually. Whoops, shit. Let me just bring it up because Garo issue is a bit bigger. There we go. I'm using a tripod, by the way, just like a little tripod with my phone attached to it. Hopefully it doesn't fall. There we go. So, Shinji Nagashima cover. I'm just going to do a brief flick through it because I love Garo. And what do we have here? This looks like a Kusunoki Shohei. Let's see who is in this issue. We have, yes, Kusunoki Shohei, Shinji Nagashima, you've got Furukawa as well, Fushisawa Mitsuo, Akiyama Shigenobu, which I've only recently been exposed to. Oji Suzuki as well, we've got 2 out of the 3 in the trio, the Garo trio. Susumu Katsumata, who's this? Ryuzan Aki, I think? Kawasaki Yukio, Shinichi Abe, okay. So we've got the entirety of the Three Crows of Garo here, and Hayashi Seiichi, I think. So, surprising, I recognize all of them in there. So the color page we've got is by who? Kusunoki Shohei? I think so. Pretty sure it's Shohei. Yes, it is. So just a brief flip through. I haven't read this again, but gotta love showing off some Garo. Yeah, I might do that for these manga hauls, just a Garo issue every video. That's the boy from cover. Shinji Nagashima, who we have here. This is Masuzou Furukawa, as we saw earlier. Cool stuff. The classic Gekiga, very sad, somber tones. We've got Fujisawa Mitsuo, the final chapter of this series, this weird caveman series. Akiyama Shigenobu. Oji Suzuki. Oh, this is Motorcycle Girl. I've read this before. Otobai Shoujo. It's in the tankobon. It's a weird story. What else do we have? Susumu Katsumata. His Yonkama works. Yeah, we got Ryuzan Aki, a nonsense mangaka. Also in the Gendai Comics Avant-Garde collection that I posted up. Kawasaki Yukio and his series with the Salarymen. Interesting stuff. There we go. Shinichi Abe as well. So this is early Abe, because this is 1973. And then last but not least, yes. Oh, I do remember this issue. Yeah, so this is a story by Hayashi Seiichi. The issue that I have, someone drew on the fucking the art. They drew a nose and a mouth, which I'm kind of angry about, but at the same time it's kind of funny because even here as well, a little bit of red. I don't know why. I mean, normally kids draw on manga and stuff. If you get if you buy Kashihon, you normally see a lot of drawings by kids on the thing. But what kid is reading Garo? You know, luckily it's not scribbled over with everything. Because I really like when Hayashi doesn't draw noses or mouths. But that was pretty funny, just opening that up and seeing that. But yeah, that's the 1973 March issue of Garo. Back cover, art by Hayashi Seiichi, advertising his collection of works. So yeah, that's going to be the end of today's manga haul. But don't worry, I have tons and tons of other manga, art books that I want to show off as well. So keep a lookout for that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you in the next one. Bye.